Keep America great.
Happening on Fox 8 Morning Edition, President Trump kicks off his 2020 re-election bid with a massive rally in Orlando, Florida. The highlights from his announcement.
Plus, Pennsylvania is expected to be a key state in the 2020 presidential election. We'll take a look at the local impact of the race.
This is Fox 8 News, Morning Edition.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Fox 8 News Morning Edition. I'm Jessica Guay.
And I'm Sean Eiler. We're going to go right to meteorologist Mary Hours. This rain has me, I can't even speak. It's just like such a gloomy, dull feeling you have. It really affects your mood, Mary. Hopefully we get some relief soon, but I know it's not the case.
Well, we're not going to see, we'll catch a little bit of a break today, actually, but not relief at whole until about Friday. So right now we're not seeing much rain out there, just a few light showers, even some sunshine. For the afternoon, we will have a few thunder showers popping up. Nothing too crazy, nothing too severe until tomorrow. Right now, we're looking at that flash flood watch. It goes till 8 o'clock, but only for areas west. Here, we're not seeing any flash flood watch. That's expired, but I wouldn't be surprised if that does get extended east for tomorrow. Right now, visibility reduced into State College by 2.5 miles, 3 miles into Clearfield. Our temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s. We're already at 70 degrees in Ligonier, 67 Du Bois and Bedford, very warm and muggy. Our dew points are already into the mid to upper 60s. Once you get to 70, that's when it feels very oppressive and uncomfortable, and that's where we are in Ligonier off to our southwest. So we're seeing highs near average, lows tomorrow yet again above average, warm and muggy, a foggy and soggy start for Thursday. So today upper 70s, a few showers and storms around this afternoon, and then severe storms rolling through tomorrow. I'll time all those out for you coming up.
Last night, President Trump rallied his base in Orlando, Florida.
Today, he hits the campaign trail after launching his re-election run. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard in Florida with reaction to the kickoff.
President Trump has left Orlando and is now in South Florida to start fundraising as he begins campaigning for another 4 years in office.
I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term as President of the United States.
Last night, before a massive crowd of 20,000 supporters, President Trump kicked off his 2020 re-election bid, energizing his base.
Fantastic. Great crowd, great speech, great energy, great message.
Mr. Trump used a large portion of his time on stage to point fingers at the political establishment, the media, and the Democrats.
We went through the greatest witch hunt in political history. The only collusion was committed by the Democrats, the fake news media and their operatives, and the people who funded the phony dossier, crooked Hillary Clinton and the DNC.
But it wasn't just event protesters who opposed the president's message. Democratic candidate Senator Bernie Sanders firing back following the rally, saying the president did little to advance his agenda, avoiding issues like climate change, minimum wage, and gun violence.
An hour-and-a-half speech of lies, distortions, and total absolute nonsense.
Recent polls showing the president may have an uphill climb in Florida, but without the Sunshine State, it's unlikely he'll see a second term. He's set to attend his first re-election fundraiser later today. Last night's event was billed as a kickoff to the president's 2020 campaign, but officially, he filed for re-election on January 20th, 2017, the same day as his inauguration. In Doral, Florida, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
We're already seeing that this is going to be the battleground.
Pennsylvania is going to be a key state for President Trump if he's going to be reelected. Experts say they expect the candidates to spend a lot of time on both sides of the river as Pennsylvania once again plays a pivotal role.
Yeah, and let's bring in Samantha York for a closer look at how important Pennsylvania is going to be on the road to the White House. Samantha.
Jessica, Sean, good morning. President Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 44,000 votes in Pennsylvania in 2016, which was a major key in his election. It was also the first time Pennsylvania voted for a Republican since 1988. And political experts say both Democrats and Republicans consider Pennsylvania to be a keystone state again in 2020.
I think a lot is going to be determined by the economy, if it continues to do as well as it has been, as well as how the candidates address some of the issues that are of concern to voters. I think health care is a really important thing, the costs of health care.
Experts say another factor, who the president's up against, most notably former Vice President Joe Biden. They believe the Scranton native would perform better than others. A Firehouse Strategies poll out this week has Biden and President Trump in a dead heat. The president has an 8-point lead in March. Biden is focusing heavily on Pennsylvania, kicking his campaign off in Pittsburgh last month. He says if he's going to defeat President Trump, it's going to happen in Western Pennsylvania.
He has a connection to the state that other Democrats wouldn't have, and I think that will play to his advantage in a very, very close race.
Now, the president is ahead of other frontrunners like Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, but as experts say, it still remains unseen whether or not Pennsylvania will stay red or return to blue. Reporting live in State College, Samantha York, Fox 8.
Thanks, Samantha. More news making national headlines today. The nation commemorates the end of slavery in the U.S. June 19th is considered Juneteenth. On that day in 1865, Major General Gordon Granger announced the end of the Civil War in Galveston, Texas, making all slaves free. The war had already been over for weeks, but news traveled slowly back then. There are often Juneteenth festivals and events planned around the country in honor of the day. Tourists also take pilgrimages to Galveston to honor the moment in history.
And Pennsylvania is about to join the other states in recognizing this day as a holiday. Today, Governor Tom Wolf will sign House Bill 619, also known as Juneteenth National Freedom Day. It's happening this afternoon at 2:30.
In other state news, a record amount of cocaine was seized in Philadelphia. The bust happened yesterday when authorities found more than $1 billion of cocaine on a cargo ship at the Philadelphia port. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 16.5 tons of cocaine was confiscated. Members of the ship's crew now face federal charges. Officials say this is the largest drug seizure in the history of the Eastern District of Pennsylvania.
Another former Beta Theta Pi fraternity member was sentenced in a Center County courtroom for his involvement in the death of former Penn State fraternity pledge Timothy Piazza. Jonathan Kanzler was sentenced to 6 months probation plus court costs and fines. He previously pleaded guilty to 2 counts of furnishing alcohol to a minor. Kanzler is one of the last defendants to be sentenced in the case. Meanwhile, Piazza's parents are now asking a federal judge to stop any further delays in their civil suit that has been put on hold, but 2 of the defendants have their criminal cases under review by a state appeals court, which could mean a lengthy delay. Pennsylvania dairy farmers are pushing for state lawmakers to put whole milk back in schools. Currently, state schools are only able to serve 1% or skim milk, but dairy experts claim it doesn't taste as good as whole milk, which could cause kids to seek other less healthy options.
Without whole-bodied milk, school children are seeking sugary drinks at an accelerating rate. Many believe we have escalated the problem of obesity with the exclusion of whole milk in schools that adequately nourishes and fills the bellies of our young children.
Dairy farmers also want the FDA to enforce regulations prohibiting what they call mislabeled milk alternatives. Coming up on Fox 8 News this morning, what's next for a proposed hiking and biking trail project in Center County after a consultant study showed it'll come with a hefty price tag. But first, the latest from Washington as a $1 billion agreement is reached for the ongoing border crisis.